Thundergrunt.
And what a surprise this weekend. When the weather turned unseasonably low, here's Harris Telemacher, our wacky weatherman, with a report.
And when the weather dropped down to 58 degrees this weekend, how did you cope?
I went to make sure all the windows were shut.
And what about your pets? Were they outside? What happened?
Well, the cats were out till around 10, but then it got a little too cold for them and they came in.
The cats were out till around 10, but it got a little too cold for them and they came in. Well, that's how LA coped with a surprise low of 58 degrees that turned the weekend into a real weenie shrinker.
In a small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the psychedelic monk said, "I'll take two," and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth where they turned into babies. They were named Bob and Matt, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the time. One time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gem. But if you call right now and say, "Where's my whisk?" we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey, welcome to Bonus Disc! I'm a guy that's at a podcast thing. I don't know, whatever. My name is Bob Rose.
You're definitely in charge of all of this.
Whatever, Matt. Yep. Thank you for inviting me. This is Matt, PA, host of Bonus Disc. And with us is friend of the show, Shawn Jones.
Hello, everybody.
Yay.
Our most frequent contributor, really.
Shawn is here for a very special reason, and that is because PM Entertainment ruined our lives.
And Shawn wanted us to stop the madness with PM Entertainment. You're not a fan of PM Entertainment, I take
I'm a fan of PM Entertainment.
I want all of it all the time.
I just want variety. Variety in my
Yeah, no, you're right. We were getting... It was so easy. They made... It was like a drug.
Right.
Shawn.
But now that it's gone, I'm glad we watched as many as we did. I'm glad about that.
No, it was a nice little...
the dragon for...
I gotta say, The Art of Dying was worth that whole stint. The Art of Dying is an amazing movie. So, Wings Hauser, which we are now acquainted with in our lives.
It's good.
So to end the reign of terror that was PM Entertainment, Shawn enlightened us to this movie called Drive.
Which I wish
not
I saw
that
before.
one.
Not that one.
Not that one. Not the Ryan Gosling movie. The Kadeem Hardison Drive.
This is like Redline, where I was like, man, I wish I got to see this in a theater.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh,
that
yeah,
would've been
no.
so fun.
This was awesome.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, before we start talking about it, I mean, it's awesome. Like, that's my recommendation right off. We'll
start by saying it was the fight choreography was by a guy who did Power Rangers stuff.
Right.
So like it's great. It's so good.
It's awesome.
And the guy who directed it did the Guyver movies.
Did the Guyver movies, yeah.
Just two. I thought it was just two. He did both?
He did both.
Oh, okay.
Both Guyver movies.
Okay. Well, yeah, this was unexpected. Yeah. I mean, you never a movie starring Mark Dacascos and Kadeem Hardison called Drive.
You're like, what?
From 98 or whatever, 97. That seems like a sad affair.
Pre-Rush Hour.
Well, this was
this came up before.
I'm gonna say it. I like this better than Rush Hour.
I agree, man.
Yeah,
it is actually kind of more entertaining than Rush Hour.
Right. Yeah, it felt like a movie that I said when we were watching it. It felt like a movie that was responding to that being popular, but no, it happened before that and The Matrix.
Rush Hour and The Matrix was responding to Drive.
Drive.
It had to have been at certain points.
I think they would have been more fun if they were.
Oh yeah.
This is a crazy movie, but okay. So the 1997 Drive. We're not talking about Ryan Gosling, just to make sure. I'm gonna have to put that in the title of the episode, like 97, not
Drive 97.
Be kind of awesome though if somebody watched Drive and then listened to us.
Right. They're not talking. They're not talking about boring Steven Seagal at half speed at all.
Right. Okay, so the movie opens up. We watched the director's cut.
We did watch the director's cut,
which it lets you know at the beginning with the giant Arial font text. It's just huge. It says director's cut, and that's a half hour longer.
It's like 20 minutes, half hour longer. The fights mostly are what's extended.
My God, the fact that you would cut any of that out—it's so awesome. Yeah. It's not really heavy on dialogue.
No.
Yeah.
No, well, especially Dacascos. He like hardly
He
says
barely
anything.
says.
he
I
could,
love Mark Dacascos, man, and I can't believe I've never seen this movie. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He's
I would actually like
Great
to
in
see the two leads of both Drive movies have a movie together, and then there'd be
Right.
no talking.
Oh my god.
Gosling and Dacascos, then nobody
that
says
would be
anything.
the perfect movie.
You know the 2002 or that Drive could have been inspired by this one because
Yeah.
now that I think about it, he
It's
doesn't
like,
say
holy
You
shit.
didn't say anything.
That
Yeah.
movie. This movie's 2 hours long. Let's just like I don't know. Let's slow it down so it's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Oh,
There's
you
the
know what?
Drive.
He also does. Well, we'll get to it.
Right.
All right.
Never mind.
So yeah, the movie opens at the docks, right?
It opens at the docks, and
Yes.
the movie
As
doesn't.
any good movie does.
I'm actually like it's kind of impressive how much this movie doesn't explain to you.
Oh yeah.
Like you really don't
Not
even
till
know
halfway
what's
through.
going on until like halfway through the movie. So like there's a huge dock fight, and he's got some sort of iPhone, which is like in '97 is insane.
It's like if you opened up it's like a phone that opens up like a book, and there's a CD drive in there that is not spinning. By the
No,
way, it
right,
wasn't
right.
spinning.
And it's like
it
a
looks-
mini disc size.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a personal organizer or something that has a
No.
video screen.
Right.
And there's an Asian woman saying that she loves him.
Right.
On
But
the-
it's that.
Did
that-
she say she loves him? She said like happy
Size.
birthday or some shit.
Well, it was an old. It wasn't a message that currently
Yes,
happening.
yes,
It was a
yes.
recording,
It was
right?
A recording of some kind.
What
I
the-
just want to point that is important to me later when he explains 'cause
what happened?
Right.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, when who? All right.
yeah, and that makes the movie weird too because it's like they have this personal organizer thing. Like, did he get that from the people?
I get the
I don't want
feeling-
to spoil anything, but
Yeah.
did he get it from the people that had the technology?
Well,
or,
I think this movie is supposed to take place in the future.
do you know what I'm saying,
It's
Matt?
so important.
Yeah.
Right. I think it takes place in the future because, like, in one of the first scenes where they're like actually talking in the car, he says something about the conflict in '97, and since this movie is from '97, that would lead you to believe that it was probably like 10 years ago or something like that.
Okay. So
like,
this is taking place in 2007,
that's my interpretation.
which is still the past for us now, but
right?
Does that
Okay.
change anything for me?
No.
not really.
really.
It's just the whole. It's almost like the thing with him watching the video. There is
Right.
almost like they just didn't want to write a scene where he had to go somewhere to watch that.
Right.
Well, that's why I
Right.
didn't understand why they had to cram him having a woman he's thinking of into
Well, it's
it
his-
at all.
Yeah.
He needed to have an emotional arc of some sort, I guess.
But
Do you-
she's well.
Yeah.
Anyway, he has a device that looks like it was from Escape from L.A. and
Right.
remember the things in Escape from L.A. That's what it reminded me of. And it's the one this woman he obviously was in love with. Great, we have a dog in here now.
All right.
I mean, we can
they're
describe the
fighting.
fight scenes, but there's so much fighting
They're
in this
crazy.
movie.
They're
They're
absolutely nuts.
insane.
Yeah.
Like I can like, oh Jesus
Every-
Christ! There's two dogs.
Every punch flips somebody over like 12 times, and
It's inhuman fighting.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you're right. It's not. It's not like Jackie
it's all
Chan.
wires. It's
No.
wires. There's wires.
yeah, right.
There's a lot of wires.
There's things Mark Dacascos does that a human couldn't do
No,
without
yes.
wires.
Even
Yeah,
a human hyped up with.
but it's not shot like The Matrix. It's shot like a kung fu movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, when I said Jackie Chan, I meant more like in the fights. There's a lot of like using shit in weird ways.
Yeah.
Like him flopping over stuff or like flipping over a thing and making somebody punch something. You know what I mean? Like he was.
It was
using
very
the-
resourceful fighting.
Yes,
like
right.
Yes,
he
that's what I
grabs
mean.
shit from around his
Sure,
environment
He's like
and
using
fights with
tables
it.
and chairs and yeah.
Well, so he has a fight in the docks with these guys that are dressed in like black dusters, right? I mean, like they were like They were like the guy from Texas who had
Right.
the
The
kind
long
of
hair and the hat.
the secondary
right,
bad
right,
guy
right.
in the movie who's a hitman. And there was a bunch of yakuza almost in in the first scene, right?
I guess
that
that's
was-
who that is. It's I don't. It's it was. It's there's
It's
a
very
corporation.
unclear
It's-
what's
It's
happening.
the corporation, right?
It's the corporation, which is called Liang,
Something
whatever.
like that.
It's run by the dude.
It's-
I don't remember.
It's-
That action
it's
scene,
Nakatomi Corporation.
that
'cause
action
it's run
scene
by that guy.
ends, and then we cut to a bar.
Right.
Eh.
Which in the reality of the movie, that scene never really ended. He was just running.
But
From
the
that
way the
scene.
movie presents it is, I thought it was like the next day or
Right,
something.
Exactly.
No, no,
It cuts
doesn't
to a
right
bar.
then.
We got it's an empty bar with Kadeem Hardison writing music,
Right.
while the bartender kind of like berates him for even
some
trying
shit.
to
Yeah.
write
Yeah.
music. So So just know that in this movie, Kadeem Hardison he's a
He's an
musician.
He's
That's what he does.
Well, that's
soulful
I
artist.
guess, yeah.
Well, either
You never
way,
see him do
the
anything.
things that
songwriter.
precede, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Yeah, okay, all right.
this is a guy who's probably never punched a human being in his
Yes,
life.
yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's like, he's writing music in a bar alone at 2 p.m. on like a
Right.
Saturday. The guy's, whatever.
Okay.
So then Mark Dacascos like comes in. Remember,
He should have been soaking wet. He just
Right.
But he had-
super flipped off of a ship. Into
but
the
now he has a
ocean.
coat on and everything. He's
Yeah,
kind of.
he has a trench
You sure
coat.
that's like right after? Like this was him
No,
fleeing?
it
Well,
is,
because the
dude. No, it
guys are
is.
still
No.
chasing him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it had. To
But he's
be.
also got a
Wait,
tracker.
whoa, before on the boat, before all the shit on the boat happens, the Texas guy shows up.
Right.
Did we talk about that?
The Texas guy.
The
We
fucking,
mentioned him. The bad guy.
The bad
Oh,
guy,
the main
whatever
bad
his
guy.
name was,
Yeah, well, I
yeah.
was saying the guy with the cowboy hat,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Texan.
Yeah, sorry.
Is that his name? What was his
I don't
name?
even remember his name. I don't remember.
It's him. His
anybody's
sidekick is
name.
Bob from Batman, Tracy Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah, who I wish had a bigger role actually.
And
He's-
the Texas guy was actually in the Ryan Gosling drive as
to make
well.
everything more
He's
confusing.
in both movies.
He's in both drives.
Yeah.
Then that confirms it was inspired by, because they were like, we're gonna have a nod to
We
it.
gotta
by
have the
having-
Texas guy.
Wouldn't it be? I bet. You know what? I bet something about that had to come up on set of the Ryan Gosling.
Oh,
movie.
absolutely.
There's no way.
Like he had to have said,
He
you
would've
know,
been- you know,
I was in a movie called Drive.
like fucking like 6
I'm
years.
in one of
ago.
these every 10 years. It's weird.
Can't wait for Drive 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're introduced to him, and he's obviously like he's been hired to not kill Mark Dacascos. We noticed.
Oh, and we don't. Yeah. On
We
the
don't
show.
know
know
yet,
this
but
for
we
certain.
noticed that something's weird because he's like getting guns pointed at him, and nobody is killing this guy.
No,
and
but
he's
they
beating the shit out of them.
And they're shooting in his feet.
They've shot at his feet a whole lot.
Right, and you said that, Matt. Right?
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
important.
why- I was
You
like, why
said
they
that
keep
in the
shooting at
first
his
scene.
feet?
So okay,
It was
now we're in the
confusing.
bar. He comes in, he sits down next to Kadeem Hardison, and the bartender's like, "What do you want?" He doesn't even respond. He goes,
Beer.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah, I
even
don't
say
think
that.
He said nothing.
He just
like
flicked
pointed
toward
at the glass Kadeem
Yeah.
Hardison was drinking, and then flicked
And the
his
bartender
wrist.
gives him a drink, right?
Dude,
so-
any real bartender would have been like, "Get the
Fuck
fuck out of
you."
my face."
So then, here we go, a barrage of evil guys come in here looking for Mark Dacascos, and a fight goes down. Kadeem Hardison gets sucked in.
Well,
To the whole
Mark
thing.
Dacascos
They-
throws him over the.
Right.
Oh,
counter.
right, he throws him
He
over the
just goes,
counter.
"Whip," and like throws him over the
And, like,
bar.
the bartender who's got a semi-automatic
That
weapon behind
Doesn't
the
even
bar.
get a bullet
No,
off.
he's
he
just
gets
shot
shot in the
immediately.
chest,
just dead.
gone. And there is no sadness from Kadeem Hardison throughout the rest of the
No.
movie.
I know, never.
He doesn't
once-
give a shit. That seemed
He's
like they
just
were
like, "That's one
friends.
They were
bar
best
tab.
friends. He
That's
was
a
like,
bar
"You can
tab
sing
I never
my
have to
band."
pay.
He was like, "When I get big, you can sing with me." He's like, "Yeah, I'm just like Johnny Cash."
No one,
Right.
Dead.
there's no
Don't
mourning
care.
anyone, and there's no like cops that show up. There's nothing that
No
the whole
cops exist except for the dirty cops that were called onto the scene.
There's only fake cops in this
Yeah.
movie.
It's insane. And the amount of carnage that
Happens.
and there's no ambulances.
We'll get
or
to that because the
firemen or-
fact
Right.
that something happens in the middle of the movie, the fact that no one noticed is
That's
insane.
how much money these corporations
Just
have, Bob.
They're just
hide
muting everything.
Do what they want.
Put the entire eastern seaboard of America
Blow hotels
on.
up and buy
mute.
Wu-Tang albums. That's
Right.
all they do.
So yeah, we're not glossing stuff over, but it's hard to describe these fight scenes. They're awesome.
They're
You guys-
amazing.
they're amazing.
There's lots of flips. People fly. In the bar scene, I lost it.
He-
because
when he jumps.
It looks like he's flying, like Superman. It's
Yeah.
like fist first, like woo! And then when you were like, "Oh, it was a Power Rangers guy," I was like, "Now that
It-
made sense."
And that seals everything.
Yeah.
That
It's like,
explains
This is like
everything.
an R-rated version of a Power Rangers fight.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
everything
awesome.
is
Totally,
just
it's
like
an adult Power Rangers.
with bones snapping.
At this point, too, we
Arms
don't
getting
know
ripped
anything about his character, why he can do that. I
No.
thought it was just the movie being stylized. That's what I thought.
That woman
Right.
was kidnapped, and he was trying to save her. Or
That's what I thought the
something.
plot was
Yeah.
too.
And then
It's totally not that at all.
what?
So they're in a fight. At one point, this is when we lost it. He's on top of a pool table, And the one guy, they all come around him, point guns at his head, and then the one guy goes, shoot his feet.
You know, you shoot his legs.
Shoot his legs. And then we all started laughing because we're like, wait, so the thing that
it at all.
So we thought it was just bad filmmaking, but it's actually the characters weren't allowed to shoot him anywhere else.
Had to shoot him in the leg.
It's kind of unique, though. The movie kind of threw some twists in there.
And then he Punisher Warzones them by getting on the fan and then
which made
everybody.
no sense. That cut was out of control. It was just, I'm upside down killing you now.
Hey, I'm here now.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he pretty much lays out
awesome.
everyone at the bar and takes Kadeem with him, right?
Yeah.
And
He takes some hostage because the police
Plus he
show
needs
up.
to drive away.
It gets down to
the small amount of driving there is in this movie.
What are we calling the bad guy?
The Texan.
decide?
Let's call him the Texan.
The Texan and
Yeah. And
Dean
Bob.
Hardison is in the middle between Mark Dacascos and the Texan, and they're both having guns on each other.
I had a real problem with that scene.
Yeah, it was
because
really
it
bad.
seemed like Mark Dacascos. What was his
gonna
name?
kill him.
What was his name?
I don't remember. It
Who
doesn't
knows?
matter. Oh,
It doesn't
no,
matter.
names.
It
Tommy,
seemed like
no.
It seemed like he was really like a little bit too quick to use him as a human shield. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he like instantly went from like
Well, no.
saving him to using him as a
Texan
shield.
had him
Right.
at gunpoint, but then he just put a gun in Kadeem Hardison's face and was
Right.
like, this is between you and me. Let's like do this or whatever. And then the cops come in. Texan throws Kadeem Hardison at him and his gun on the ground and starts crying.
Right.
And then the police, and then that's when he takes him as a human shield, which is still pretty fucked up. But
Which it's kind of fucked up for the way the movie goes after that. Like, not to mention, like we said, Kadeem Hardison's like best friend has been shot and murdered.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and that first scene where they're driving, he's just like, don't worry, man, I'm not going to hurt you. But he keeps threatening with the guns. So
Yeah, he's
it's
holding a gun to him. They're driving away in Kadeem Hardison's like really nice
It's a 73
muscle
Challenger.
car. It's a really nice car, yeah. And on the way,
It's relevant for later.
it is.
Shut up.
And on the way, they run into like 5 cars on the side of the road.
For no reason,
Fuck it up
really.
completely. No one's chasing
for
them.
almost no reason.
Yeah, no one's
Except
chasing them at
for
all.
to need to fix the car later in the movie. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Which is weird. We gotta make sure they need to fix
we
their car.
have got to put them in a situation where they'll have to deal with the meth head.
You're right. You're totally
It's
right.
Really, it's insane.
Oh yeah, we can't talk about that yet. God, that
It's
comes
just no
on, it
thanks.
happens, and it leaves, and that's okay. Anyway,
Yep.
It's just like meth.
so in one of the very few segments of the movie that actually involves driving,
Yes.
Which is-
in the movie called Drive.
this is when they go to.
Hold on, you know what? The Texan keeps calling him Turbo Drive.
Yeah.
Is that why it's called Drive?
Maybe the original script was called Turbo Drive. I don't know. We can
Turbo Drive might have been a
Ask.
better, name for the
Yeah.
movie. Turbo Drive.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
That'd be sillier. I think it almost would play into the silliness of the movie.
With the
Right.
techno soundtrack, too.
Yeah.
Well, this
Right.
version doesn't
And-
have a techno soundtrack, but
and the professor.
Right.
We haven't talked about the professor
So
yet.
yet. This is when they leave the bar in Kadeem Hardison's car and they go to they looking for a hideout, so they go to his ex-wife's house or his current
No,
that's not what
yet,
happens right
not
then?
yet. They're driving on the highway. They stop to talk, and he's like,
Oh yeah. This is when they get picked up by the dirty cops.
yeah.
Oh, right.
Because
Okay.
when they start
right.
driving again, there's a check or stop or whatever, like
Right.
a traffic stop. And
I
the
guess
police-
combing for them?
Yeah.
But
The
they're
company had hired the dirty cops.
That was like within a half hour though. I mean,
bring
like
them in.
It was pretty fast. I don't know how
That-
far out. Okay, so here's the biggest problem. Where did they start?
what do you mean?
Where was the boat?
Oh, I don't know.
Because he goes, I need to get to L.A., and he's like, oh, fuck no, I ain't driving that
You're saying
far.
they on the East Coast?
No, I'm asking where the fuck were they, because they
You're
never
right.
say. So like,
Was
I
this a
have no
cross-country
idea.
trip that they never mentioned?
Who knows?
Well, they had to be somewhere on the coast because there's a dock.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So he's saying what if they were on the
Probably in
East
Malibu.
Coast?
I'm just saying they never say where it is, so there's
Right.
no way to approximate how far they've ever driven.
And they don't do
or where
much
they
driving.
are. Yeah,
Right.
it's weird.
I'm gonna assume they're just on the West Coast,
They're
but
like
farther
San
up or
Diego.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they gotta get to LA or something. It's like weird.
they never address how far
No.
they're going, or
it doesn't make any sense.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. So the cops pick them up.
Take them to a fucking quarry.
Right. Because that's what you do.
Yeah, unhandcuff them.
Honestly,
then,
it looked like the set of Cyborg Cop 2.
It did.
It
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
This is what I didn't understand. They unhandcuffed them. They were both handcuffed.
Right.
They unhandcuffed them, and then hooked them together with this like
It was
metal,
wire.
like,
It was wire handcuffs. Like
yeah,
there was a
like
really
plain
thick
wire.
metal
Yeah,
wire.
yeah. It looked like a lock, like a bike lock.
Yeah. It was a thick metal wire, right?
And
It
now
was
handcuffed
almost
to
like
each
here you
other,
can
but only
fight
one-
better with this.
but
Right.
only one hand. Yeah,
And
it
they
was
do.
like,
There's
here,
a
let's make
crazy
you
fight
more.
scene at the quarry.
No,
more
at one point, Mark
They give him enough
Dacascos is
slack.
using Kadeem Hardison like
As a
a weapon and
Yeah.
as a blocking like device. It's
He's just a
insane.
bat. Yeah.
Yeah, the
madness.
action is so good.
It's so.
This
good.
should be way more popular.
Yeah.
It's insane that it's not. It should have a following at least. It's got to have a following, right?
It's got a following.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People know it exists.
And so the way they get out of there is by zip lining using the weird handcuff thing that they were
Right.
put in.
Yeah.
They zip line away from the Texan.
Which I liked. I love that detail with that because it actually does heat up and they have to put it out in water, which is totally what would happen if metal against metal and you're zip lining
Right.
down like that.
But then they put it
Right.
put it in a big barrel of water and it's boiling the water.
It's boiling a barrel
of
of water.
water,
That's
yeah.
not gonna
That's
happen.
probably a little too hot.
That's a little bit too hot.
Just a bit.
I mean, their wrists would be
Scotch.
scorched.
Yeah.
If that shit was that hot.
But whatever, it's kind of cartoonish
No,
like
no.
the movie, so fine.
He does say
Fine.
don't fucking Roger Rabbit me or like Bugs Bunny me or something. When
Yeah,
they're
he
having
does.
the conversation in the car, he
Yeah,
tries
yeah,
to
yeah.
trick him into agreeing, and he's like, "Don't, you ain't doing that Bugs Bunny shit to me or whatever."
Right, because they get away and
I
yeah.
like that because they acknowledge. It's funny actually. While we were watching it, every time we'd be like, "Why the fuck are they shooting at their legs?" And they're like, "Shoot his legs." It's
Right.
like, the movie lets you know that yes, we understand.
Yeah.
It's weird, but now we're saying it.
No, and then we were like,
other
how
stuff
come
like
he
that,
can
you're
do
like,
all this stuff? And then the movie answered why he could do all this stuff, but it took so long for it to answer
Oh, that's
that.
where he tells them what's wrong with him or what's inside of him.
Not, he says there's something. He doesn't explain it though.
He's
No,
just
he
like,
does.
oh, you know what the fuck is?
He's
oh,
like,
yeah,
you know, a
I'm familiar with
bioengine
that.
is.
Bioengine.
Like, sounds like when somebody says fire.
But that was
engine.
after we cut. Before that, we cut to the bad guys for the first time, which is it was the Texan having a conversation with the
Right.
guy from Die Hard who owns the Leon Corporation that
Yeah.
builds the
Bio.
bioweapons.
the bioengine that's in
And
Mark
they-
Dacascos.
The plot sort of thickens there because it's like they want to get Mark Dacascos
He's, like,
back in their
defecting.
possession. Yeah,
He's like
Right.
defecting.
he's
from
a
the
rogue
corporation.
guy. He's a rogue. He has
Like
it
a
in his body,
Prototype of their new weapon thing.
so they want it back. And that's the plot. That's why he's being chased. We find that out like what 30
He's
minutes
going
in,
to LA to
Something like
sell
that.
it to someone for $5 million.
Right.
which
And that's when I was like, well,
he's
wait,
not on a
where's
very
this
righteous
woman?
quest.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
He's
what
not
happened
at
to
all.
that
He's trying to
lady?
make
You were
fucking
like,
money.
I need to do this for
Nothing. He's
It
trying to make a
makes-
buck,
I need to make bank, so
which
fuck
is
it.
insane too, because he's like trying to make money. He's like, I gotta go somewhere so somebody can give like serious surgery to me.
Yeah, they gotta
Right.
They
add
gotta-
a thing to my heart.
Take something
And then-
out of his heart.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's like not a joke, you know.
Right.
So then he makes a deal. Like they talk about it, and he tells him that, and he makes a deal with Kadeem Hardison. He's gonna give him half
Yeah.
of the money. It was
That's
just like,
when they go to his wife's house. His
right.
ex-wife.
But before that is the thing where we meet the villain for the first time. It's the guy who owns Nakatomi Towers.
Yes.
And he makes robot because there's that shot of him sitting
Fuck.
at his desk,
Right.
and it like slowly zooms up, and there's like this
This piece of a
claw
robot. Yeah, I don't
holding
know.
a robot heart, and just
Was
It's
that
like-
what it was? It just
I
looked
think
like
that was
this weird
supposed to be
orb?
the-
Okay, that's what the implant. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like, but it
looked
was like
a
in a
weird Spider
stand,
thing. I thought they were gonna send like robots at him later.
I
And
thought-
I was like,
like
oh my
mousers
God.
or something,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
That'll be for
Didn't
the
happen. That would've been
2027 version.
I would watch another movie where Mark Dacascos plays this
I wanna
character.
see every Steve Yang movie. I've already seen all the
Guyvers,
ones.
yeah.
This one was awesome.
So yeah, then they go to Kadeem Hardison's house. Which another thing is that this becomes another scene that I feel like doesn't pay off later.
No, it doesn't pay off
at all.
It's weird.
It's only there to like establish A, that he has something to fight for, and B, why he doesn't do something later in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Right, because if not for this, I would have been like, why?
Yeah,
Just do it,
yeah,
man.
Just get it over with.
Yeah, get it over with.
Rip
Please.
that Band-Aid off.
Right. So they go to his wife's house. His wife is currently at work, and they're not seeing each other anymore. They're separated. They walk in and there's a picture of his wife with a different man and their family.
Older man.
And fucking Mark Dacascos picks up the picture, holds it up against his face, and goes, "Man, you look terrible."
Right.
And
You
he's like,
asshole! Like, you fucking
there's
dick!
his wife and child. You dick. It's crazy.
Yeah. So they're in the garage sawing off the weird wire handcuffs.
Right.
And his wife comes home.
Yeah, she drives up to see her ex-husband and a
A guy
Chinese
she's
guy.
never met.
Yeah.
Sawing handcuffs.
And they could, in this conversation, he has to basically defend himself against being a loser, which is great because he's in there trying to saw handcuffs off.
With the criminal. The guy who just murdered so many people.
And he has that conversation with her, and she's like, "Oh, that guy you're with, he's a real cheeseburger." Oh, he's a little bit of a cheeseburger.
It's a little bit right. She kept saying he's a cheeseburger. It's a cheeseburger.
Right. It's like, so she's admitting that he's a garbage.
Because he was saying that the
And
guy
she's
she's
with
currently
him.
dating is a cheeseburger. He's all around your heart, clogging it up. And he tastes good for now, but or something.
Right.
He's bad for you in the long run.
Yeah. And
It was
like,
weird as hell,
Yeah.
reasoning for
and
that
she
whole
agrees
thing.
with him.
they say
No, she
like
totally
murdered,
agrees with him.
15 fucking times though. It's like annoying. It
Well,
gets
it's
to the
like
point
through the rest of the movie, he's like, "Oh, she's with the cheeseburger." Yeah. It's like, what?
What?
It's
Stop
not
trying
a
to make
thing.
cheeseburger happen.
It's not a thing.
At all.
Right.
And really, yeah, and then they leave. And this is one of my favorite parts of the movie is when they're leaving, Kadeem Hardison gets in his car, and then Mark Dacascos looks at the house, and the wife is like looking longingly at Kadeem.
Right.
And that's where he knows he's like, no, she is still in love with him.
Yeah, right.
And there's this whole through line about him trying to convince Kadeem Hardison that his wife still loves him.
Yeah.
But it does
Based on what? And it goes
look.
nowhere.
a look. It's a look. That was it. Yeah.
You never see her again.
Ever. No. You
She's
never.
gone. It's like, who gives a shit? He still should have done what he didn't do later
Which-
on.
I gotta
'Cause
say,
she's banging
Back-
cheeseburgers.
She's
cheeseburger,
fucking a
man.
Cheeseburger.
I gotta say, stuff like that though makes me love. We watched a little bit of the making of,
Right.
and I love the fact the guy was like, "Well, I don't really want to make movies with meaning in them." You know what I mean? So it kind of explains everything.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to make Dances with Wolves. I'd like
then
to,
he said,
but whatever.
it would have been cool if I did. And it's like, what does that mean?
What does that
exactly?
mean? But yeah, he's definitely not making Dances with Wolves.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's through lines that just go nowhere, but the fighting rules, so it doesn't really matter at all. Yeah, we never see this woman again. She was from something. She was an actress
Probably.
of name,
She was
but
pretty good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Know what
she was in a
did with
completely
the- I
different
really
movie.
thought, I thought she was gonna come back into it the first time.
I thought a lot of people were, and they didn't. So
There's a lot
whatever.
of people that never came back.
This is when we cut to the personal lives of the Texan and Tracy Walter, aka Bob, right?
Yeah.
Because we see them; they live in a trailer. They're hitmen that live in a trailer. Tracy Walter is like he's a garbage human being.
He's disgusting.
He
He's
looks
also-
he
really
looks
bad.
sick.
He's
He
always eating
Ho-hos or
what are they called? Yeah, like some sort of tasty cake.
tasty cake shit. He
Or
eats
it's
junk
a little
food.
Debbie. It's a
Little Debbie.
something.
Yeah, but he's sitting in there. Man, this is the weirdest
This
part of
is
the
so
movie.
good.
What was it called? It was called
Einstein, the genius frog.
Einstein the Genius
Yeah,
Frog, and it's
it's
a
Or
show.
Walter the genius frog.
Walter is the Einstein Frog or something.
Yes, Walter the Einstein frog. That's
and
it.
it's literally a show that's like ER if
Right.
it was about a frog
I
that could
don't know about
diagnose
that,
people with its brain.
But it comes back later, and
keeps
it's like
coming back to
it's
the
like
movie,
Buck
like-
Rogers.
It's
you know
sort
what I
of,
mean? It's
you're
like
right.
Star Trek.
But in that first scene, it was like ER.
Yeah, it was like
Remember, because
that.
he burps in a guy's face. He's like, "What? It's pancreatic cancer."
Well, dude,
It's like, what?
the cut is absolutely genius because it's a woman on a table or something, and it's a doctor, and then they go, "What do you think?" And it cuts to a giant frog with like a robot dome brain, and they're like staring at it, and you're like, "What the
The fuck?
Right.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's you know what? Almost did Futurama.
Yeah,
it's true.
Hypnotoad
Hypnotoad.
first.
Yeah,
This movie, it was genius. And it didn't even know it.
It's
It had
incredible.
so much in it.
And it had to be something either the director had before or the writer.
It
had
has to be.
before.
If they this would be one of my. I think I would just love this movie to no end if they filmed that
for
for
this.
this movie.
Well, I
It,
mean,
it looked old though.
it did look old,
But maybe
and-
that was
looked old,
intentional.
But I do love that, like Mark Dacascos actually references it because
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it's
they
usually
talk
on the
about it.
background.
No, it's in the dialogue
yeah.
of the movie. That's what
Right.
makes me think it was made for the movie. Because if it was
It's
just
possible.
if it was just a background TV on that they need to
Right.
be watching, they wouldn't have written dialogue to talk about
It's
it.
important. We
You
wrap
must
this
Like we need
up.
a
It must be
show where
canon.
the frog is smart or something smart enough. You know what I mean? Like, God damn it. And the frog looks like something out of Land of the Lost.
It's
Yeah.
awesome looking. It's crazy.
It's like, yeah, one of those like polyurethane puppets like from
Yeah.
the 70s. That's what it looks like.
It's funny because the second choice movie for today, it looks like the frog and there's nothing out there. So
What do you mean?
If you're looking for like that type of frog, there's
Oh.
the monster and there's nothing out there.
Oh,
So,
right. Yeah.
Another movie.
That was
all
another
of our
movie that
listeners
Sean
should-
wanted to watch.
Should listen to.
Okay.
Should watch.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the other thing.
Available for free
on
the
YouTube.
Trauma channel on YouTube.
Nice.
Right. Anyway, yeah, so that's such a small part of the movie, but it's the weirdest
really funny.
out of the
Yeah.
ballpark. What the fuck? Tracy Walters laughing his ass off at it too.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess in that world it's supposed to be funny.
And the Texan's like, "Well, you're such an idiot." Or
You're such an
something.
idiot, you idiot. Like, and then they're like basically just planning their next attack
Yeah.
to get the Costas.
I don't know if planning is really the word.
They're
Well,
not
that's when
planning
they
anything
get he calls China.
to
The
talk
Texan
to the
calls
dude.
China. Yeah, he talks to the guy, and he's just like, "Why are you so ignorant?" or
Is,
whatever.
and is this where the
He
penny?
just talks shit.
Why
like
would they
he's the
hire
greatest.
this Texan
Yeah,
guy?
where did they
It
get
doesn't-
his
it doesn't make
content?
He's like a
sense.
trailer park trash idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, why would you hire this? You've got like ninjas and stuff. Like,
It's like a-
Has he killed the other guy at this point? The guy who was at the dock that came back to China? Did he kill him?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like that's
Yeah,
where
I
the
think
penny
that-
scene
Oh
happens.
yeah. Oh, see, and then that
No.
doesn't make fucking any sense.
that's amazing though.
anymore.
Because
when
it
you're-
cuts to after that conversation he has with the Texan, it does cut to them,
Right.
and it shows the guy who failed at the dock. He all of a sudden you see a hand with a penny in it, right?
No, he goes and he talks to the guy, and he's like nice to him at first, and he's
Right.
like, "Yeah, the flight was nice." And he's like, "Oh, okay, you fuck," and then he's
Yeah.
just like, "You failed,
Right.
basically, and now I got a new robot over here, and it's gonna kill you." And that's when it flips.
That's the exact dialogue.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Yeah, I know,
I'm
you're
summarizing it.
you're paraphrasing.
But then then the robot throws a penny through his neck, and it like buries it into a fucking marble.
No, he doesn't. No,
column.
wait a minute. He doesn't throw it.
He
It's
flicks
in
it.
his hand, and he flicks it. This thing flies through a human's neck and into a marble wall.
Yeah.
That's how powerful.
Like 80% of it into the marble. It
Yeah.
was in there.
Now, what we're dealing with here, by the way, is not robots.
No.
No.
It is a human being
Bioengineering.
that is biomechanically enhanced.
Yeah. But only on a thing in their heart, which is weird.
Right. I don't know if that can make your finger fast enough and strong enough
Right.
to flick a penny through a human being, let alone into a marble wall. Whatever. It,
That does.
you know, it's at that.
Speaking of chemically bioengineered, let's move to the hotel.
Yeah. Because
I
that's
think
that
that's
is
where we
next,
are. That
right?
is next. Yeah.
This, yeah, man.
So at this point, the car has been crashed into a bunch of other cars.
It's got
it's
other
got
car
bullet
pieces of
holes.
other car hanging off the front.
Right.
Yes, and it has bullet holes all over one side. And they're driving along, and lo and behold, smoke comes out of the engine because it should not have been drivable.
Right.
It was full
You
of
know,
bullet holes.
I just thought of something about this scene that just drives me mad. Okay, go ahead.
No, go please.
No, we got to talk about. We got to get to it to talk about what
so
happens.
He's
and
like,
then
so
yeah.
Kadeem Hardison's like, well, we're gonna have to pull over, and I'm gonna have to fix this somewhere.
Oh, thank
And Mark
God.
Dacascos is also like,
I need to sleep.
I need to sleep really badly because the implant in my heart raises my metabolism. So if I'm not exerting myself, I need to sleep.
By the way, we never see him eat
They
anything.
never
Right.
eat food.
They never eat
He drinks
food.
beer.
Actually,
and
that's
that's
it.
I guess. I
It's
mean,
the only
yeah.
thing that's imbibed. in
That
the
is
entire
calories.
movie.
I mean, it's calories, but
Not enough.
you would think he would be eating
fighting
everything in
robot
sight
people,
for the
right.
amount of energy he's exerting. The
He
guy,
should be
Spinning
eating.
and flipping 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
not to mention he's got mechanics in his heart making it pump fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
eat
it's
something,
ridiculous.
dude.
He should be eating constantly.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why they didn't do that. That would have been really funny. Because they just
Yeah,
have
'cause
the
then you
car
would've-
full of like snack food, and he's just constantly.
And then
eating.
Kadeem could have like made fun of him for it.
Yeah.
Whatever. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. They were like making it up as they go along. How do we get to the hotel fight? You know, like the car breaks down.
So they conveniently pull over at a hotel with a garage
with
attached
a
to it,
mechanic's garage
who
attached to it.
specializes in old hot rods.
It's so good.
It's like, what?
Whatever.
Of course.
And
Okay.
guess who runs it?
How old is she?
She's young at this point.
I mean,
Does she say how old she is?
Clueless-
she never says how old.
Clueless
she is.
was
So it's like.
what year was
there are
Clueless?
two versions of how you would consider this. It's like
This is
one. Version 1 is he's trying to be good for the woman,
Yes.
his wife.
Oh wait, we haven't even
his
said who it
ex-wife.
is. It's
Yeah.
Brittany Murphy.
It
It's
is
Brittany Murphy, but
Brittany Murphy is running the
Out
hotel,
of her fucking
and she is
mind.
insane.
it's hard to describe. The
Imagine her in
performance.
Clueless, but if you gave her like uppers,
Right.
like she is tweaked completely, like you just said.
There's
it's
zero chance she's acting.
It's terrifying.
She
And it-
is. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not even in the movie. Like they just turn on the cameras and let it happen. She's just like wants to have sex with Kadeem Hardison, the actor. You know, it's nuts. Yeah, so she
But they never address how old she is, and she's
Right.
talking about all her friends are away for the weekend and her parents are on vacation.
Yeah,
and
she's
she
either
kept
she's
being
either
like,
supposed
Now-
to be 16.
this is supposed to be my party weekend.
Right.
does she
This is a
address
party weekend.
You
get
guys might
party
remember
weekend
this more than
discounts.
me because there were cars in the parking lot.
Yes, but she said there was no one else there.
Okay.
She said that.
Okay.
So maybe the
There were
her
cars
dad
there,
was
but
working
she
on.
said there was
No one else there. I feel like though, because of the character we're dealing with, she was probably lying a little bit. Like we're generally
'Cause the
alone.
moment
Well,
they
I'm
walk
hoping
into
there was
there,
no one else.
I
there because of
hope
what
so.
happened.
Because God, man.
the moment they walk in there, she is down to fuck.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
she's like,
Oh,
It's my
she wants to
party
fuck him
weekend.
instant.
Like-
Kadeem Hardison, not Mark Dacascos.
not Mark Dacascos at all.
No,
But let's be honest, he's sexier, right?
I don't know.
Right?
It depends what your tastes are.
I don't know, man.
But she's like,
Mark
oh
Dacascos
man,
has
there's a
really
special
nice
this
chisel
weekend.
face.
He's a little bit of a pretty boy.
It's the Bone
All
Zone
right.
special. You
Yeah.
get a free room as long as
and you can fix your
Right.
car. My
She
dad's vintage
pretty much
garage.
offers both. I mean, she's like, if you guys show me a good time, like it's all yours.
Yeah.
Use the garage,
Right.
have free room and board, just fuck the shit out of me.
Yeah.
My parents aren't here. I want a party weekend, whatever that
It's
is.
crazy.
Is that just having
Absolutely
sex?
crazy.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt uncomfortable the whole
What-
time because they never addressed how old she
What a
was. That was,
weird
like,
scripting choice. Like,
Yeah.
instead of have some woman there that's insane.
Trying to fuck the shit out of them while they're trying to
Like
not
she's
die.
in heat. She's like a cat in heat.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good way to describe
It really is. And he can't do it because of his wife.
I
He's still-
guess.
he's
I
still
guess.
loves his
or
wife.
she's
Or she's
16-year-old. Yeah, like, there's a plethora of
You're
reasons
right.
it could have been.
One
that
or
he
the
did
other.
that.
They could have
She's
edited it
also
out of line for
completely
that.
insane. You know what I mean? There's a lot of reasons for him not to have had sex with
Right.
her.
Right. You're right.
They didn't need to have his wife. Like that woman alone, you'd be like, Christ Almighty, please go
There's
away.
something wrong here.
Yeah.
You are not well.
You're alone. I mean, honestly, dude, if she turned out to be a serial killer that killed the people who
Oh, yeah.
own the hotel, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
right?
be remotely
Oh my
surprised.
God.
That she. I mean, remember when? Okay, so here's what happens. Mark Dacascos falls asleep in one of the hotel rooms, and Kadeem Hardison is in the garage fixing his car.
That's when she tries to fuck him.
She also, I want to mention, she shows him her father's refurbished hot rod, which is
yeah.
beautiful.
Awesome. It's like a. It's
Think
like
you're
a
setting
Chop
up-
Top 40s.
Oh, look.
No, we're just
we're
setting
going to
up.
see a chase scene with this motherfucker later, right?
Because the movie's called
Drive. And we got a hot rod that's a classic
Hey.
hot rod. It's all souped up.
Nope.
Good.
So
There to be shot.
nope.
Well, the Texan shows up with all of his friends, and
they start.
so much fighting. in
They-
the, Jesus
Oh, yeah, it's
Christ, the
crazy
amount of
He
fighting.
fighting.
destroys the office for no reason.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah,
Oh,
It's like
he
he's
comes
just-
in and punches the
He-
key card.
where the keys to all the
I
rooms
guess
were.
violence does solve. So no,
What?
it doesn't.
He punched through the goddamn door. It wasn't locked.
No, he just
We
was
saw
angry.
her open it earlier.
He smashed like the copier and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he
Oh,
turned
yeah,
it
it
over. Like,
just made no
why?
sense.
You're wasting your energy and time.
You're making a bunch of noise also when you're now about to sneak into every room until
Right.
you find the,
to
you're
find a
looking
ninja
for.
that you know, and basically a guy who's a ninja who is enhanced like a fucking superhuman.
Yeah.
Let me make as much noise as possible.
Right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So they're
Fuck.
so
They're going door to door.
door to
but
door to
Kadeem
find it.
Hardison had sent Brittany Murphy away from him because he was like tired of her trying to fuck him, and told her to go wake up Mark Dacascos.
Hoping probably that she would just fuck him instead.
That was a funny
Yeah.
scene because like she's trying to wake him up and she's doing it all cutesy at first,
Right.
And then it shows the Texan and his dudes like showing up, and then when it cuts back,
She's jumping up and
she's
down.
jumping up on a bed, but the cut is just a Mark Dacascos still asleep. And you just see her hair,
Right,
and
you see his top
No,
half,
it totally
and then
felt-
You see her.
yeah.
Is she raping him? Like that's it. Like
So
what
they
is
went-
happening,
so
man?
They went wide,
And
you
it's
saw
not
her
like we're
on the
jumping to
bed.
that. Like if you could see this character in action, her going to that wouldn't be the most insane
No,
thing. Like
no.
she is insane.
Yeah, I mean, like I think we've kind of undersold it here because it's like she's not. It's not that she's just like crazy and rapey. She's just like
she's moving
insane
around like
the
she
entire
can't-
time.
yeah,
she's like she's the electric gremlin.
Yeah,
She's
right.
just
Oh,
yeah.
or she's writhing like, but it isn't writhing. It's like I don't know. It's like there's demons in her, and she thinks she's a giant snake.
Yeah.
It's really weird, man.
There were demons in Britain.
Yeah. Well, we already did that episode.
Rest in peace.
We did that
Your
episode.
mother's a criminal. Anyway,
Listen to our episode on Brittany Murphy's story, Lifetime channel. All right. So they're going door to door. Mark Dacascos now,
is asleep.
he's asleep.
Dead asleep. She's
jumping up on top of
touching
him.
his face. I
This
bet
means-
she probably tried to blow him at this point. Like his
But-
dick is out, probably.
They take the key card. They take the key card he stole from the office. As he's swiping it, Mark Dacascos' character can
Hears it.
decipher the difference between all the noise and physical
First-
touching that happening for
Right.
Brittany Murphy to knowing that this is a malevolent
it's like
presence
a-
outside.
That
And he
door-
wakes up instantly and pushes her out of the way. It's insane.
He doesn't push her out of the way. He sits up, kicks
her.
her in the side of the face.
Right, you're right. Yeah.
And we were all like, yeah.
Finally.
Finally.
He's so fine-tuned.
It's like a styrofoam cup moment.
Do you
Yeah, it
realize
doesn't
that
make
if they
any
didn't come,
sense.
they didn't show up, she would have been like fucking with him for like 4 hours. It's like pushing at him and shit while he's
Yeah.
trying to sleep. It'd been insane.
He's just in a coma until a fight happens.
Right.
Like the director
you do.
literally turned him off as a character
Yeah.
until he needed to fight. Yeah, and then
And then he does. He fucking
and
kicks
it's
the shit out of
awesome.
everybody.
That
It's
whole
so good.
every fight scene in this hotel
It's
is
pretty wild.
It's crazy. Describing it doesn't do any justice. There is a scene where they get to another room where he beats a guy's shoes off of him.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so good because they've got the electric
They have
sticks.
they have the like
They- yeah,
shock
they-
sticks.
yeah, the
'Cause he's
cattle
like, I'm tired of
prods.
this motherfucker like getting away from me. He was like, one touch of these, he's out.
He's out, right?
Sorry,
And so
just threw
basically,
up
you're
or
watching like almost a Die Hard level like fight scene in a small enclosed space.
Yeah.
And he
I don't know,
never.
it's like what's that movie with where they fight in the bathroom and it's through the ceiling and it's fucking bad
Raid?
as shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that
But
kind of shit. It's
He never gets
the
touched with one of
quarters
these
are
rods.
Super tight. The cameraman is like between everybody's legs. And
Yeah.
It's like these kick-ass fight scenes.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's
Man.
really good. It's not bad good. It's good.
great.
Good.
Yeah, it's really good. And he never gets touched with one of these cattle prods.
No, he
at
kicks
all.
the
Like
fuck out of everybody.
he beats a dude. He gets his shoes off, and then he puts
Wait,
the
he
shoes.
takes a knife off his belt, then
Cuts his shoes
cuts
out
his shoes
off the
of
guy.
his feet. And
It's-
I was
what?
like, what is he doing?
I thought he's cut his foot off. I was like, what
Right.
happened? But and then it's this really weird scene where they're all just like on a Mexican standoff. He puts the shoes slowly on his hands and then gives a Neo like, "Come get me."
Yeah.
Before the Matrix, by
Yeah.
the way,
Mhm.
with shoes on his hands, and then beats all the guys up
Again.
with shoes
And
on
the
his
shoes
fucking
are
hands.
melted because of the shock sticks.
And he
They
throws him
shock it
down.
so much, it's insane.
I need to
It's so
rewind quickly though to the adventures of Kadeem Hardison down in the garage.
Right,
where he
right.
finds a chainsaw.
Oh, fuck.
My God, how crazy!
Like,
So
This
this
is-
is Kadeem Hardison. He's been like, I
He-
don't want to
he was a
shot at
musician.
anymore.
At the beginning, the morning, he was a musician. Now he's cutting motherfuckers' arms off.
I mean, no, he literally chainsaws a guy's arm at the
Yeah.
armpit off, and as it's spinning in the air,
It kills him.
it kills the
Right.
guy who the arm belonged to.
Well, it doesn't.
We've got babies and dogs in this room.
It doesn't
insane.
because he comes back later.
Right. It does. The guy does get up again,
Right,
but it does
right.
shoot him. I mean, he
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
shot by his.
Wait, that guy got up? The guy with one arm?
Yeah, he was back later. He's just like with another gun in his other arm.
Are you
trying to-
kidding me?
Yeah, no.
No, I don't remember that. Are
That
you
totally
serious?
happened.
That
Yeah.
totally
okay.
happened. Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember that. That's nuts.
I was really hoping he would go on a rampage with that chainsaw. Just
Yeah.
to see Kadeem Hardison chainsawing anyone is surreal.
Yeah, right?
Uh,
He's just murdering people.
And he's a musician. He's a musician, and I mean, at one point he's just fighting. At that, he gets to a point where he's just fighting. But anyway,
well, actually, hold on. So Mark Dacascos sends Brittany Murphy with a gun to the
garage.
Well,
no.
To help him out
During the chainsaw
so he cut
scene,
the guy's arm off by this point already.
Yes.
Yes.
And he tried to bite the hand off the gun,
Because he can't get the handle let go of the gun.
Bite it off, yeah.
which is
It's
gross.
a really surreal
And she
image.
loves it. And she loves it.
She's
like,
so
all about
into
it.
this.
She shows up shooting a gun and is all like, woo! And
She
he's
is
like,
somebody
whoa, whoa,
who, you
whoa.
know, her parents are in one of these hotel rooms and they've been drowned in a bathtub. And she was like enjoying every second of it.
Oh, cool! Now I get to shoot guns at people.
You're
Right.
Like, if cops existed, I'd be in trouble. But fuck it.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't care.
She's now murdering people. Kadeem Hardison is chopping people up with chainsaws. These are like normal people 12 hours ago. Well, she was fairly
She was
normal.
never
Yeah,
normal,
she was
man.
probably never normal.
Yeah. Her parents are probably dead.
I'm
thinking they're dead. She went on a bender and killed her family and then just lied. And all she wants to do is get fucked.
Yeah, she's just like, all right, I need to lose my virginity before I go to jail forever.
She probably wanted to kill them after they fucked her. Mark Dacascos would have never seen it coming either. He would have thought
He'd
she was
like, okay,
completely
fine,
fine.
whatever.
She would have sliced his like neck open or something. So yeah, like she's firing a gun, killing people, whatever. There's another fight scene, awesome.
Yeah.
The whole thing. I mean, every fight scene's great. And they run out. No, they're still in there, aren't they? When it happens, because the Texan gets fed up.
Yeah.
The shit has been kicked out of him,
Yeah,
and
he's
Bob
pissed.
have been like just. They're done. Like
He went back to his car and he gets out a triple-barreled rocket launcher.
I mean, this thing
It's
is
huge.
monster.
It's like I don't even think it's not real. Like it looked like it was a prop made to be over the top.
Maybe.
There was a lot of that in this movie. So
Yeah,
I'd be
but it
surprised.
is big.
And then they come around the corner of a building. There's a lot of this movie is slow motion stuff that doesn't need to be as
At all,
long as
no.
it is in slow mo.
Yeah.
No.
It's really weird. So
Yeah.
it's them running around the building in slow motion and Kadeem Hardison like
There's slow mo shots
jaw
of characters
drop, like,
that
slack jawed
Yeah.
pointing.
like that.
doesn't-
Remember the
Missile
black
launcher.
like henchman that
Oh,
there was
yeah,
a slow mo
yeah,
shot
yeah.
of him.
And you called it. You
I
called
said
it.
And Matt
was
said,
like,
"I
you'll
bet
never
you will
see
never
that
see it again." We didn't.
We never saw it again.
But it was this
I
epic
forgot
shot
about
of
that.
him like, no, they got away.
Yeah,
And it
in
was-
slow mo, and I was like, we'll never see him.
Never. Didn't see him again. So the Texan has a 3-barrel monster rocket launcher aimed at pretty much the hotel, right?
Well, puts down a sight like he's gonna aim at them.
No,
but then
it
just starts
doesn't.
shooting it at the building.
He basically shoots the 3 shots and blows it up sequentially the entire
the
building.
entire fucking hotel.
Anyone
and
who was
garage.
in there was vaporized.
20 minutes of
gone.
guns. All of this. No cops.
No cops, no
At all.
ambulances, no. Just fucking people driving by on the highway.
People
being like, what the fuck's
staring.
going
There's
on
no one
over there?
outside in the street just looking like, what's happening? It's like a goddamn war zone out here.
Yeah.
The prison from fucking the Steven Seagal movies, like right around the corner.
Yeah, right.
No one hears any of this for some reason.
Just to skip to the bad guys next scene. The next scene that they're in is the Texan talking to the diehard guy again.
yeah.
And then Bob comes up to the car, finally recovered from the fight at night. So they had to have been there at least
Oh, yeah,
2 hours,
hours.
after
Also,
things blew up.
Bob didn't
before
Bob
they
get knocked
left-
out in the hotel?
Yes.
How did he
Yes.
survive that?
somehow.
He had to be pretty far away. That was a huge explosion. We're talking like a big hotel. That it's
Also, before they left, hold on. The reason he's just sitting in the car for hours waiting for Bob to crawl out of the rubble of a hotel was Mark Dacascos. Like when they got one of the cars, he got out and shot the tires out of the other
right,
car.
right.
And then
then
took
the
a smaller
other
rocket
bazooka,
launcher out
yeah, that's
and
right.
blew up their like
trailer
van.
and RV.
they're home.
Yeah, they're
so
home.
they
They're
blow up a
fine.
hotel, and then Mark Dacascos blows up. Where
They're
did
homeless.
This is insane.
But standing next to the smoldering wreckage of 2 perfectly good homes. It's awesome.
No cops. No one
Brittany
is there.
Murphy's homeless now.
She's done.
On the run with.
Well,
Well, you
Murphy-
assume
criminals.
you have a character who everything has been taken away from her, no matter how insane she is. That's somebody I
Well,
think's
no,
gonna
no.
stick around. for a while,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Yeah,
But
she's in now.
Here's
'cause
my
she's
also-
homeless.
Her life is gone.
Here's my alternate theory to that: is that she was super psyched because her parents were dead in a bathtub, and they
And
just
now she's
erased
That's what I'm
the
telling you.
evidence.
No, that's where I was going with it. Like,
totally-
there's something about that hotel that we're never gonna know. I think there were people in that hotel. They got fucking destroyed.
Oh yeah,
But that's why she had to think about what room to give them, even though she said it was
'Cause
empty.
they were all-
Because they were filled with dead bodies.
Right.
And she's totally into it. They get to the
What?
restaurant after it happens, and she's fine. She's like, oh no. But then she's like, so many people just got killed. The bad guys, too, weren't all dead. People burned alive. Like, it's gruesome.
No police.
Yeah, no police.
Nobody paid attention.
Not that
to
much
it.
remorse. Like,
No.
no one says anything about anyone.
It's just gone.
time to go to the diner.
Yeah.
Let's
Time
go
for-
with diner. And then, at the diner,
fuck,
right at
yes.
the diner, one of the waitresses is like panting and looking at Kadeem Hardison like she wants to fuck him.
She's
After
like
we
dancing
just
to the music, but she's also like grinding her pussy against the edge of the counter, and you're like, whoa.
did we just leave a scene with a woman fucking so bad? What is
And he
happening?
goes, I'm just a magnet today. And then Brittany Murphy turns around from the jukebox and like a lunatic, man. No one has ever walked like
The
this.
fact that she's playing a jukebox after what just
She walks up, pushes the waitress who's flirting with him
out of
into the like
With
by
her face.
the face out of frame, like throws her out of frame. It's awesome. It's like, that's
So
my man.
then basically the dialogue that happens there is they're like, well, we're gonna leave you here, and she's
Right.
like, you guys better survive and come back.
And fix my hotel / garage.
Right.
And they're like, totes.
What does she say?
And no, on the way out, she stops
gonna-
Kadeem Hardison. She goes, I rocked your uvula.
Because they
Yeah.
kiss for like they have a closed
they
mouth kiss
for half a second, and she's like, I rocked your uvula, which is the creepiest and strangest thing I think I've ever heard said to another human being that was trying
There's
to
no
fuck
way
them.
she isn't a serial killer on the run at the
Yeah,
end
no.
of the, you know what I
It's
mean?
over.
She's
Well, you never see her again
No,
either,
you
so
don't.
it's fine.
she found Woody Harrelson from
She
Natural Born
ate
Killers.
everyone
and they
in
fuck-
that diner and now sells food out of it. Like, that's all she does. She's just
Dude,
like,
that's a great sequel. It's just this is her going to businesses, killing everyone, and saying her parents were own this.
my parents on vacation. I'm having a party weekend.
She's just like
A party weekend means so many people have just died.
Yeah.
God.
It's just serving human meat out of the kitchen, like whatever.
Dude,
Like
she's
party weekend.
so a serial killer. Anyway, they leave her at the restaurant. You never see her again, ever.
Nope.
That's it.
she's done.
This movie leaves a wake of destruction. It's just after it's
She's
gone,
like,
it's done.
I mean, the way this is written is that's a character you take everything from, so they have nothing to lose to keep
And then
going.
they also help you and contribute to the
No,
victory.
no.
now.
just leave her behind. She's homeless. Even if she's not a serial killer, it's like she's homeless, man.
Listen, at this point, she's gonna have to fuck Kadeem Hardison, or we're gonna have to leave her behind. So
yeah.
leave her behind because we can't explain how old she actually is.
Man, her running the restaurant is such a great. That'd be so. If that was like an after credit
I
scene
wanna-
where somebody walks in there and they're
It's
like
called Drive to
No,
Party
Party
Weekend.
party weekend.
Party weekend.
It's not even an action. No action in it. No fighting. It's
No,
a
no.
serial killer movie.
Yeah. That'd be great. Like Drive was Friday, so
then
this
have-
is Saturday.
Right.
It's a trilogy.
Have
at
Ryan
that point.
Gosling in it. He's the main character, so it's super confusing. What Drive to, but not what?
Why don't we have millions of dollars, guys? That would happen. It'd be so funny. People would have no idea what's happening.
I would want to hire the same Steve Wang to do it, but tell him I don't want a single action scene.
No.
Right.
I want it to be a
This
like
is
a psychotic
Red Dragon,
thriller.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
That's gonna be Red Dragon.
Oh, with Brittany Murphy.
Oh man.
That'd be
All right,
great.
get me a shovel. Let's make this happen.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. Where are we?
I think we're coming up to the end.
They leave her at the diner.
This
so that
movie's
they can
pretty
go-
short feeling. It feels
Yeah.
short because it's like
Oh,
5
yes,
action
They're
scenes.
going to the diner. They're going to meet
to the Apollo
Mark
14
Dacascos' contact at the diner.
at Apollo 14.
At Apollo 14, the most
Crazy
amazing
diner.
place on Earth.
This movie is amazing.
diner.
It's
It's like
really
a club
good. It's
restaurant.
so good.
So they drive, and then there's this. It's so weird looking. I couldn't tell. The first shot of Apollo 14
Oh,
is.
It looks like a little
disorienting.
It looks like it's a launch pad, but it looks like it has stuff happening around it, like it's a little city.
Built around a rocket.
But it's
Yeah.
like the shot is like a far away shot from above, which looks like you're looking at this like space, like futuristic city
Yeah.
with stuff all happening around it. But it's really just a grill, a bar and
it's
grill.
just a grill with a
restaurant.
rocket attached to it.
But
It's
they
like
have
it's like a
sliding
club
doors.
inside.
It's a club, yeah. It's like a club. It has karaoke. There's like a gyroscope that you get in.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
virtual reality thing, which are all used in fight scenes, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. So the whole thing is like, it's a theme bar.
Yeah, but like you said, it was like a set from a Star Trek movie, and then they put a bunch of neon lights and bar stools around,
And
we're
yeah.
like, oh, now it's a bar because it still had the big interlocking metal doors.
Yeah.
That
No,
worked. They swooshed
that
open
worked,
and stuff.
yeah. it was
But
like,
the
where
but
are
the
we?
exterior wasn't real in a lot of shots. It was green screened in,
Yes,
which
and it
was
looked horrific,
it
yeah.
looks.
That's what I'm saying. The first
Yeah.
shot you get of it, I was like, where are we looking? Is that like an aerial? Are we in a helicopter?
Yeah, I
looking
thought they
at-
like went to another world. It's at
Yeah.
this point, like whatever. I guess you know,
Now
but
we're
we
in
know.
Subterranea where we have Apollo 14.
So yeah, they get to Apollo 14 to meet up with the guys who want to buy the heart thing.
Yeah.
From Mark Dacascos. What was his
Wait,
character's
actually,
name?
I
I
don't
keep
know
saying
if
his
they
full
went
name.
there on purpose.
Toby or something?
No, they
Mark
went.
Dacascos?
I thought they did because they were meeting up with the guys who wanted to
But
purchase
the way
it,
they
right?
meet up with them is weird.
Yeah.
Did they know they were going to be there? 'Cause
Dude,
the guy,
I'm not even going to
this is where it's
Yeah.
revealed that they meet up with guys from the company who want to buy it. They give him $100,000, like that's a down payment. He gives it to Kadeem Hardison, and he's like, "Well, cool. I'm going to sit down and be cool now." And then they explain
And they've
that
got
there's
the-
a tracking device in the implant.
And thankfully they have the untracker.
Yeah,
They can
have an
detrack it.
But they're paying
But
him
that-
$5 million for this technology because they don't know what it is.
Here's the
How
thing.
did they make a D-tracker device for something that they're trying to buy
Right.
so that they can understand?
Here's the thing: is
Come
we all
on!
question the fact. Another thing we all questioned and said out loud was, how did they not
Sneak up
question?
on 'em.
You know, how
Oh.
did they not question the fact that they keep following them and they keep finding out where they are?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And,
And
the
then the movie
movie
did that.
answers, "Oh, by the way, it's a tracking
That's
device."
what I was talking about earlier. It does every time you're like, really? And then and then they just say it plainly.
Say what
like,
happens.
and you're like, okay.
oh.
You're not
Yeah.
oblivious to it.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so there's a tracking device in there. Like, I guess why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
Because I guess they're attached to like a satellite feed. Because we're gonna get to that. Because
knows?
the
But
remote
at this
control
point, the new prototype, the modern prototype,
is sent out.
is on its way to America to find Mark Dacascos.
Taking the Orient Express,
Yes, they
Right.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my God. But
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Fuck, he's right about how it's supposed to be like 2007. Because they're like, the Orient Express is back up and running. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Right.
yeah,
And now it means it goes like all the way around the world, I guess.
God, that's insane.
Yeah.
And it's fuck me. What is this like a prequel to fucking what was it, Snowpiercer?
Yeah, right.
They
Yeah.
finish the train that goes all the way around the Earth,
And then it froze.
and then they make human robots. Somehow that ends up with the Earth freezing.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Okay, so
No, you just blew my mind because I was like, why?
you
would
know
it
the
be in
funny thing is,
2007?
you really think about
now
it
the
is
sliding doors and the
the
rocket
guys,
ship,
the guys who are purchasing the heart thing, the heart biometric thing,
it's a
they-
bio-engine, dude.
bioengine. Sorry,
Everybody
how
knows.
dare I not know what that is? They make the tracker overheat and break. But at this point, it doesn't matter because everyone's already
Knows
tracked
exactly
him
where he
to where
is.
it is. So by the time it's been
It just
disabled,
means that
It's
after the
pointless.
movie, he's fine.
it's right.
Yeah.
No one can
He
find
can be
him.
Bruce Banner and walk the earth. after.
Right, and just beat the shit out of everyone. Right. So so at that point you've got the Texan who's there first. Right? He
No.
gets
No, the Texan comes in later, I think.
does he?
Yeah, because first the
Texan meets up with. They all should get there together,
Right,
but
right.
he doesn't show up
'Cause-
inside the bar until after.
Because
the-
the first
Nakatomi
person
tells
that walks
him-
in is a super guy.
Yeah, because Mark Dacascos
Which is great.
now
That's-
singing karaoke and dancing
Which
around
is
the
so
room.
out of character.
Because he
Right.
hasn't said
This
anything.
is the most he said in the whole movie.
He's singing a happy karaoke song.
And he's also singing about getting into gunfights and murdering people.
He's basically telling the story
Yeah,
of the
he-
movie. Yeah.
over the microphone to a room full of people.
I mean, whatever.
Anyway, and that's when we saw this how you get into the restaurant, which was the sliding doors, because they open and the fucking prototype is standing there.
This is epic shot of the prototype, just like he's like
Stepping
he's like
through it.
Asian guy in a big long coat with
Right.
sunglasses on, ready to kill
And there's
everything.
mist.
Mist at the
Right.
bottom. Oh man, he's walking through slow motion mist.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's at a bar
It's
and
just a
grill.
bar.
It's like, it's
Really good.
insane. Right. I mean,
Mark Dacascos notices him, then a bunch of motorcycles blast through the
BMXers
windows.
like come in like what?
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
get
supercrossers.
I don't know.
Where
so
did they
they're
come
terrorizing
from?
everybody. And then they
Like just shooting up the bar.
But
Like
they,
the dude
that's
in
what I
the,
thought
Right.
was weird. They didn't start shooting
Gravity,
until
though.
after most people had left.
Right.
Then
Well, they
started
crashed
shooting
in
at
and
the
then
bar.
everyone vacated.
And then they started
Whoever
shooting
was
at-
left.
And Mark
They're like,
Dacascos beats the shit out of him too. Like
Well,
on-
him and Hart,
he
Team Hardison, like,
kicks a
split up.
bike at one
Yeah,
point,
he kicks a bike with
and
his
it
fucking
stops
shin.
it. It
Yeah.
stops it.
Dead in its tracks to send a human being flying.
Yeah, like I don't know if a heart implant can make your leg able to do that. You know, like how?
He's also getting hit with them like it's a problem, and then he just kicks it.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, why didn't you do that earlier? You could have done that at any point.
whatever.
Hey,
But meanwhile,
It's awesome, regardless.
Kadeem Hardison has to deal with the secondary bad guy.
yes.
Who's now decided.
Who's a Texan?
Well,
He's
as he's on the
Texan.
way out, the Texan and Bob are coming in, and he
Right.
throws him down the stairs.
Right.
And then Kadeem Hardison kicks Bob like 10
Out.
feet.
Takes him
Yeah.
out for the
Like,
fight.
boom! Kicks him across the room, and
Yeah.
he's not an issue anymore
But
for
Yeah.
like
more-
10 minutes of the movie.
He's
More
done nothing
importantly
in
is
this
how
movie.
The Texan addresses his fight with Kadeem,
oh,
which is with a whip.
yes. He says
It's ridiculous.
he pulls a whip out. And starts,
Which another thing I just
Yeah,
want to
no,
point out that where
absolutely.
we were like really, and then the movie answered it for us
Yep.
because
Yep.
it's you got a white guy from Texas in a cowboy
Whipping a
hat
black guy.
whipping a black guy.
And
It's
then
like
once Kadeem Hardison gets
Jesus.
the upper hand, he's like, "You can't beat a black man with a
Or you
whip."
know, he's like, you fucking serious? You're gonna be a fucking asshole from Texas whipping a black man? What
Yeah.
are you saying?
And then he
like,
pistol
pistol
whips
whips
his
him.
brains
Yeah.
out.
and he shoots
He
Bob.
shoots Bob in the leg.
that
No,
character.
shoots Bob like.
Oh, he
Dead.
shoots the
Kills.
shit out of Bob. You're right. I
No,
forgot.
that character has done nothing but eat garbage and laugh at a frog show.
Right.
Yep. And now he's
And
getting
he gets
shot.
fucking shot. He's so useless in this movie. He has no arc, nothing.
He doesn't shoot the guy who's been trying to kill him and just beat him with a whip. Just tried to strangle him to death with a
No,
whip
he-
after beating him.
So
Whatever.
Ugh.
During that is when the two superhumans are fighting, and it's awesome.
Right.
It's great.
It's crazy. Like, and
Well, that's where Mark Dacascos. There's that shot of the with the stick is incredible. Mark Dacascos is like
Jesus.
getting.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of losing. He's not doing well, and then he picks up a mop and he like breaks it, and he starts fighting the new prototype with a stick.
right.
And there's a part where he could have hit him in the face, but he stops it, and a wave, like a special effects, like like the wind pushing against his face, moves his cheeks and his nose and his hair,
And he
kind of
goes, huh.
Right.
Yeah.
and it's in slow mo, and it's like awesome.
It's so
and then
good.
His glasses like split
No,
perfectly down the middle.
He gets away from him, and then they look back at him, and his glasses just go
Yeah.
like
well,
they,
their whole fight was full of like anime shit like that, where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we've done a thing, now we look at each other, blood spurts out.
It was
or
totally.
my
It was like a
glasses
fight
break.
from like Rama 1/2 or something.
Yeah.
Like that. It totally.
It really was.
Yeah.
and it was also like the force of the thing happening was enough to hurt somebody.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because that stick didn't make contact.
No.
It was like it was just swung so hard at him.
There's
The
Yeah.
air broke the glass.
But during the fight, the new prototype starts losing, and the
for
knock.
what reason though? I didn't quite understand that.
I think it was a technique
Yeah,
versus.
I agree with Bob on that. I think it was
See,
just
that's,
a matter of
that's
technique.
ambiguous though. You know, in these kind
They
of
didn't
movies,
say
it's always
it.
like there's a thing that happens.
They just
that
didn't say
make-
it.
Yeah.
But
Wanted it more.
But that's
Ob-
the point of
he
what
wanted.
I'm saying.
It was a
the
Rocky.
woman earlier.
It was Rocky 4.
Yeah.
Like
it was Rocky
they
4.
showed that he had a motivation for what? Nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he
right.
just needed money or that woman. Which was it? None of like it didn't have like.
What
a
was
thing.
he? Yeah. What is he fighting?
Yeah.
Why does he care?
Yeah. Why is he so good at this? and need the woman?
Ah, you know, no, he's not. I guess he's only fighting so they don't kidnap him and take his heart out.
Yeah.
right? At this point, he's just fighting to
but
not
I'm just
die.
saying, like, that's usually what pushes the hero into overdrive to defeat the villain.
Yeah,
You know
like,
what
if
I
What
mean?
happened? What ended
It
up
just
happening
didn't
with his
happen
wife
in this movie.
or his daughter?
It was.
that wasn't his
he was
daughter,
sent
was it?
to-
It was
he
his wife.
Sent, no, it wasn't his wife. He was sent to assassinate her before because she was an
Right.
anti-communist
Yes.
speaker,
Right.
and he was supposed to assassinate her, and he fell in love with her, and I don't remember if he explains. He just kind of stops talking, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to talk about it?" You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
So
is
she
she
was
dead?
dead.
I guess
Yeah.
someone else killed her after she showed him that the
The prototype.
She's
Chinese
probably dead
government
because
was
if she's
garbage.
not dead, then the movie's doing a terrible job of giving him all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
show
yeah,
her
yeah.
being kidnapped by Nagatomi. Like
She
you know what
has
I
to be
mean?
dead.
Yeah.
I just can't remember if he says it plainly or
The
if he
motivation for the
alludes to it.
characters are really
It's
weird.
vague.
Yeah.
Kadeem
And that's why
Hardison
in
has
the fight
almost
scene, I
no.
was like,
It's,
why is he winning all of a sudden?
yeah.
It
Will.
just didn't
It's
make
like pure will, but why?
But
Yeah.
why?
But anyway, so he starts winning, and then for the home base in Japan,
It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
there's
they're
like a
able to
team of people
jack
with
him up.
computers.
they
being
jacked
like,
up all his adrenaline levels and
He's
shit.
about to be expired. What would you like to do, sir? And he's like, boost the
Boost
implant.
Everything, and he right.
They zoom in on her face like it's a huge deal, and then he beats the shit out of Mark Dacascos some more. But then
But
it's
he's
too much on his
overloading.
body,
Yeah, he's
and he
overloading.
dies for no reason. It's so anti.
He starts
And
glitching.
He wants to team up with Mark Dacascos. He's like, you
He
don't have to
offers him a
die.
deal.
Oh yeah, he's like, you can.
We
just
could
come
go back to the home country
Yeah.
and
I think they're
rule
supposed to
everything.
be brothers or something.
But they
I don't
didn't
know.
explain it at
They
all.
Explain that at all.
But he starts malfunctioning, and
Because why would he recognize him when he walked in the room?
Right.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense.
he's
movie kinda fell apart at the
malfunctioning.
end there,
Mark Dacascos
plot-wise.
gets on one of the supercross bikes
And just rams
and
him into a
rams
wall.
him into a wall. And it's like he's dead. All right.
It's like, wait a minute, weren't you punching him in the chest earlier to make him throw up blood? Why don't you just do that some more to his face?
No, he
Right.
gets on a bike
Impact
and
his
runs him into a
brain
wall.
or
Which
something.
I was like, you can really hurt yourself. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't
Remember
matter.
when you
You
kicked
can
one
hurt
of those
yourself
'cause
on
it
those
was
bikes.
bullshit?
Yeah, right. Huh?
He kicked one like it was a bullshit.
guess it
like,
doesn't
and why
matter.
is he using it as a weapon now?
So
God.
then the Texan, who's
Right.
been pistol whipped almost to death,
This makes no fucking sense.
is also
whatsoever.
strapped with like C4 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's got two triggers.
He's got those triggers, from T2, whatever those things are.
Yeah.
Those
Oh,
trigger
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you,
Right. Yeah.
Or Speed did it first.
Speed did it. No, T2 was first. Speed is mid 90s.
Really?
Oh yeah, T2
Oh,
was
yeah.
before Speed.
Wait,
Okay,
yeah.
fine.
Anyway,
Excuse me.
yeah. Anyway, he has two.
I only watch garbage.
Yeah, right.
Right.
He has two of those things, and it's really weird because like Kadeem
What was he-
Hardison and Mark Dacascos walk up to him almost slowly.
It's
Right.
all the whole sequence is in slow motion. for
It's
no
so
reason.
weird.
It's
They
really
grab
weird.
his hands and they're all staring
You know,
at
I
each
thought they were
other.
gonna like kiss or something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They take the remotes from him, only step about 10 feet away,
Right. Which
then blow him up.
Then let it blow up, and then they
Which-
run
Well,
out.
and that's when Mark Dacascos has his first quip.
Oh, yeah, and he
during
goes, "Time
He's
to
like,
blow."
Yeah, time to blow.
And that
Terrible.
another example where even though it doesn't take much time, I was like, that was really what his quip was going to be. And then Kadeem Hardison goes, really? So it's like the movie
Yeah.
acknowledging the fact that he finally said a quip. And it
sucked.
sucks.
Yeah, it was bad. It was weird.
So
The
they
movie-
they run out as it's exploding, as the CG. It's not CG. It's like the weird
It's a
green
model.
screen
yeah, it's a
model
blue screen or something like that.
being exploded.
And the
It looks
best
bad.
detail was like again with this thing where the movie knows what we're thinking. Like the rocket starts to take off.
Yeah,
and
it
just,
seems like the rocket's about to take off because there's all these
well, it
explosions.
starts
under
and it starts to rise for like a second, and then it just falls over.
Yeah.
and
I got
everything
so
blows
excited.
up.
I was hoping that would happen.
Ah,
Yeah.
man. God.
That'd be great.
Didn't
But that would
happen,
make
though.
so little sense.
Well,
What?
whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't
Compared
matter.
to anything else, that would have
Right.
been amazing.
That's
Especially
the end
if,
of
like,
the.
the other android was riding it.
I'll be back.
I'll get you next time.
It's like the end of Austin
Toby.
Powers. Yeah, like what? Yeah.
Right.
So they
But-
blew up the whole motherfucking building. At some point during that, between him killing the android and the building exploding, it shows the Nakatomi guy, and he pushes a button on a wall. They're like, "It's terminated," and he goes, and he walks over to a wall. He pushes a button, and a door opens, and then he's got a room full of those guys.
Yeah.
Right.
What? It's never addressed again. Like that's what I said when I was. That's
Yeah.
when I was like, "How is there a plane gonna like a jet's gonna shoot by and it's gonna start firing
Those-
androids at
That's
them?"
the end
right?
of the movie, really, right?
Yeah.
The epilogue. There's no epilogue
No,
after that.
They don't know what they did. Did they get the money?
His wife
Did
and
they
him.
get money.
Brittany Murphy ever fuck anybody?
Right.
Does she have
Kadeem,
a home?
Kadeem and his wife take together.
Did they get the back together?
Well,
Nope.
I mean, Kadeem Hardison has $100,000. That must be enough to buy his wife out of Cheeseburger's grasp at that point.
Right.
Buy his wife out of his grasp?
Well, it makes him not a loser, I guess. He
Right.
has $100,000.
But it's not. That's not stable. She's looking for stability. Did you see that? That picture was taken.
That's true.
at,
That's
like,
true.
Like a Macy's.
Olin Mills or something.
He did call it like a Walgreens
Yeah.
fucking picture or something like
Just
that.
like
Kmart.
looking at my
Kmart
pictures.
picture.
I'm just saying.
The movie ends,
Fuck.
doesn't resolve anything,
Nothing.
but you know what? The action scenes are so awesome. You're
They
like,
are
well,
good.
whatever.
And I know this is like we talked about it quickly, but I mean, like the action scenes are like if this is a 2-hour movie, they had to be like at least 90 minutes of the movie.
Well, that's
for
what we-
action scenes.
What was
Yeah.
it? We were an hour and 15 minutes into the movie when we get to the diner,
Right.
and we were like, this feels like the end of the movie, but there's still 40 minutes, and you were like, oh no, it is the end of the movie.
Right.
It's 40 minutes of fights and blowing shit up and like nonsense. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so
40
much.
Seriously,
It
the last
feels like
sequence
2
was 40
seconds.
minutes.
Yeah.
But to describe it,
This was a $3 million movie too. Like
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It looks really good for
Yeah.
$3 million.
Yeah, it does, and it's nonstop.
It's a shame that it's not like widely available on Blu-ray or something like that.
Yeah, I think people could dig this movie. Like,
I think
Totally
dig
no,
the shit out of this.
like
movie,
yeah, it's not.
The
It's
fighting
definitely
is so
not Dances
good.
with Wolves, but
No.
you know what I mean. Like,
It's fun.
it's fucking fun. Yeah, it never stops, ever. I mean,
No.
it's insane.
The Brittany Murphy chunk is baffling.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because she's so tweaked out. I
Yeah.
mean, she's I
and
can't
she's great as Brittany Murphy.
articulate how tweaked out she is during the course of this movie.
Look at all that. All right, well now we got
What's
Brad's
that?
in here,
Taco platter.
a taco platter. We got babies and
Delicious.
dogs,
Jesus Christ.
but we
in
got
heaven.
through it.
We
I forgot
did.
to set the alarm, but we got through it anyway.
Wait, you didn't set the alarm?
I forgot.
Oh,
but
I'm like sitting there. I'm like, we're gonna do
Yeah,
it. We're gonna do
I thought we
We
accomplished
did.
talking about a movie.
No, we're about an hour anyway, so
Oh, are we?
we did it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's like we're at an hour 12 and probably spent like 12-ish minutes on the opening thing.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
We did it.
We did it.
Drive, non-Ryan Gosling. Watch
Good
it.
stuff.
YouTube. Thank you, Sean, for
Some of the
recommending
best fight
it.
sequences
I'm really
ever.
happy I saw this movie.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's
Like-
why I said this is like Red Line. Red Line and this are like two movies I'm super
and
happy with.
that and Cyborg Cop 2, actually. I really enjoyed that. But
was a
Cyborg
fun-
Cop 2 is
like those are movies from Bonus Disc I'd watch again. Like
Right.
I'd watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd recommend it for I would say Mondo would be a great Mondo.
It would be
it-
a fun Mondo.
Pe-
If we did the shorter
the-
version, we could
People
do it
would
for Mondo.
enjoy watching this while they're getting drunk.
Right.
Because it's constant action. It's silly.
You don't have to pay attention to it.
Brittany Murphy's cameo would be amazing. People would go
nuts.
nuts for her.
Being super
Super-
rapey teenager.
Right. Yeah.
It's super weird.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And watch this fucking movie.
All right.
And watch Don't Sell Your Heart. All right. Bye.
Bye.
You have just listened to Bonus Disc. Questions, comments, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts and guests of Bonus Disc are 100% valid because they sit high atop Judgment Mountain. So quit your whining.